How did it make you feel?
That's the bad thing, because it was a good experience. And I mean, it was better than perks. And because it was so good, that's why I haven't stopped.
Gotcha.
I have a daughter. Her name's Amira. She's 16. And
if you could change one thing about your day, what would it be?
My use, my drug usage.
And if you could stop loving anything in this world, what would it be?
Drugs. Kensington is the #1 open drug market in the United States. So yeah, it's a big problem, and I feel like they can't get a hold on it because they let it go for so long. And now when they try to do something about it, there's nothing they can do. They try to take, try to take the what do you call them? The people who sell the drugs.
The dealers.
They try to take the dealers, off of the streets. But when you take one off, another one comes. So.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water.
Hi, my name is Imani.
How old are you, Imani?
31.
Okay. And where are you originally from?
New Jersey.
Yo, shout out New Jersey, we out there. Okay, Imani, can you please start off by telling us a little bit about your childhood growing up?
Well, I had a good childhood. I'm an Army brat. My mom was in the Army, so I lived, a couple places. I lived on base in Newark. Went to school in New Jersey.
Yeah, let that go. Yeah, see, you smart.
Went to school in New Jersey. I also went to school out here in Philadelphia. I had a child early on. I got into med school at Temple. I was studying to be an anesthesiologist. I actually lost my scholarship because I took too much time off. From there, I, had a bunch of little odd jobs. My first job was at Bath and Body Works down Center City at the gallery. And from there, I hurt my leg, and that's where it all started. I started doing perks, and I had this guy that was selling me Percocets, and I was buying a whole bunch of perks off of him. From there, the guy disappeared, and I started getting sick, and somebody introduced me. I started selling drugs, and I was selling dope, and I think my last bundle of dope I couldn't get rid of, and that's when somebody actually kind of introduced me into sniffing the dope, and it did help, and I started doing dope. And from there I went to rehab, and I got clean for 6 months, and I met this nurse, and she introduced me into shooting.
A nurse?
Yeah, a nurse. She was at Kennedy Hospital in New Jersey, and I met her in the rehab, and that's what started me shooting dope. And from there, that's how I got down here. Had to find a different place to buy my dope, because over in Jersey, dope runs at $10 a bag. and it was expensive. I think I was spending like $300 a day, and when I couldn't spend, when I didn't have the money to get my dope from Jersey, I started coming to Philly, and I started escorting. And at first I was in hotels, you know, like the Hilton. I would stay at the Hilton, and eventually I found my way down here to the Badlands, and I started buying my dope down here and started escorting down here, and it went from the hotels to the streets. And that's that's how I made it down here.
What was it that made you want to keep on taking drugs?
I guess it was just my lifestyle. Because escorting, when you escort, you gotta have a strong mind for that. And the drugs is what helped me to continue to do that, because you deal with a lot of different people, and within dealing with a lot of different people, you kind of need something that'll help, you know, subdue yourself, I guess. You know, take your mind off of things, and that's what.
Can you give me what I need?
Oh, I've seen people overdose. I've helped a lot of people when they overdose, to bring them back. Not only overdoses, I've seen a lot of females get hurt. You know, they had the Kensington, what was he called?
Strangler?
Yeah, the Kensington Strangler. I was around for that. They also had another guy that was down here that was killing girls. I was around for that. I mean, I've never had nothing bad happen to me, but I've been around for a lot of other females who had stuff happen to them. I had one girlfriend actually got stabbed down here. This guy followed her after a date and tried to rob her, and when she didn't give up her money, he wound up stabbing her really bad. Oh. And even after she came from the hospital, she was right back down here. So I mean, that was a lot. You know, it makes you think a lot about, you know, being down here. You know, the things females have to go through, you know, it's just a lot, and a lot of people don't really think about the things that we're doing, you know. And the drugs is just one way to just, you know, keep us from having to think about it all.
So how do your family react when they found out you was using drugs?
Oh, they were pissed. My family, because like I said, I come from a good family, and a couple of my family members were on drugs, but they never used dope. So they know about it a little bit, but they don't really know, you know, the effects that the dope has on us. Like, they think it's easy to just, you know, get off of it, but it's not, because dope, when you're using dope and it gets into your body, it gets into your bones, and when we go through withdrawal, it's not just the mind thing. It's about, you know, it's not just mental, it's physical. You know, you have the body aches along with, you know, the nausea and the vomiting and the diarrhea. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. And my family, they've one thing is my mom, she said she'll never give up on me.
Awesome.
And like, it's hard to talk about because I don't want to be down here and I don't want to be doing this, but at the same time it's hard. it's hard to, it's just hard to get off of.
Did you ever think that you would become addicted to drugs?
No, I never, when I was younger, I never thought I'd be using drugs when I got older. I always wanted to be a doctor or a surgeon or, you know, somebody working in the health field. And I still have dreams of, you know, I know this isn't the end for me. And I know one day I will be clean. And like I still want to, you know, have a regular life.
Right.
I plan on going back to school. I want to go back to school for surgical tech. It's nothing like going to school for anesthesiology, but it's still in the health field. You know, it still make good money. And you know, I know that this isn't something that I want to continue to do for the rest of my life.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control?
I tried. I went to 2 good rehabs. One was out Jacksonville, Florida. The other one was out Scottsdale, Arizona. And they helped me stay clean for about a year. And I think if I would have stayed out there, I would have continued down the right path. But it's just being out here, being in Philly, you know, being in Kensington, everywhere you turn, there's somebody yelling dope or hard, you know, powder. So it's kind of hard to get away from it when you're right there in the middle of it.
What is one piece of advice you will offer to addicts watching this video?
Don't come to Kensington. Don't come down here to Kensington. This is not a good place to be when you're trying to get sober. It's not. And I say just stay away from the things that you know will lead you down this path. Every day. I still see her, but it's not like I should, you know. And it's another thing that keeps me, you know, doing drugs, is because every day that I'm missing, you know, her life.
I'm sorry.
It's just a day that, you know, I dive deeper into drugs.
Do you regret not seeing your family?
I regret. My family is a tight family. I miss them. I know they want the best for me.
So what make you choose drugs over family?
It's not an easy choice to make. I don't wake up wanting to miss days with my family. But like I said, it's just hard. It's hard getting away from this.
So what is the toughest thing about being an addict?
Getting clean. Getting clean, staying clean. Those are the toughest.
Okay, what advice will you give to people who occasionally use drugs?
There is no just using it once and going back to your regular life. Once you start using it, you usually go down, you don't stop. So I wouldn't even indulge in drugs a little bit. Because like I said, once you start, you probably won't stop.
So what all have you lost due to your addiction?
I lost everything. I lost everything. You lose everything, and I'm just hoping not to lose my mind. I'm hoping to at least have that by the time it's over.
What's the longest you can go without using drugs in 24 hours?
Now with the drugs that they have out, the most you can go is a couple hours before your body starts aching for it.
So what's your living status currently?
I don't really consider myself homeless because I have a home to go to. I just choose to be out here.
How many times have you OD'd?
I've never overdosed.
Are you afraid of dying?
That's my number one fear. And I think because I've never overdosed, that's the reason why I continue to use, because I don't have no fear. I don't have the fear of overdosing. But yeah, I still fear that I could die using it.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up.
Yeah, it's made me a lot less selfless. I tend to care a lot less when using, but that's the whole point. That's the whole reason why I use. And so I don't think about the things that normal people would think about daily.
Okay. So how do you stay safe out here?
I just try to stay out the way. I try to do right and just stay to myself.
What was one of your best dating experience?
I had a guy come pick me up, and he just wanted to talk. And I would say that would be the best experience that I've had. And I've had more than one guy, do that.
In the daytime, how many guys do you usually chill with in a day?
Anywhere between 2 to like 5. I try not to go over that. Because I still want to, just have time to spend just with myself.
How do you know they're not the police?
You don't.
Have you been locked up for, dating before?
Yeah, once.
Okay.
I got picked up by this Chinese guy who I thought was a regular date, and he turned out to be a cop. So that wasn't too good. I didn't get arrested. They wound up letting me go, but I had to go to
Program.
certain classes.
If you found $10,000 today, what would you do with it?
I would get a car. I would find a place to live far from here. I would get my daughter back, and I would just try to live a normal life again and go back to school.
How many times have you been robbed while out here in Kensington?
Oh, so many I cannot even count on one hand anymore. So many times.
So how do you prevent it from happening?
Try not to, what do they call it? Nod off. Try to keep your eyes open.
Okay. Does your family or your kids have a way to stay in contact with you?
No, that's probably the worst thing of being out here. Because I don't really keep in contact with them. They usually just hear from me every once in a while when I get a chance to call them.
As a child growing up, did your parents tell you to stay away from drugs?
Yeah, always. Always.
If your family came to Kensington today looking for you, will you go with them?
I do. I always do.
You always do? That's good. If your daughter wanted to FaceTime with you today, will you FaceTime with her?
Yeah.
If you had 3 wishes in this world, what would your 3 wishes be?
For me not to be on drugs. For my daughter not to see me go through the things that drugs have put me through. And just for me to be able to live normal again. Have a normal life without drugs.
Sounds great. Do you have a religious or spiritual belief?
I would say I'm spiritual more than anything. I don't really take on any religion.
Where do you believe you'll go when you die?
That's a good question. I don't know. I believe that when you die, if your spirit is right, that you go wherever it is we came from. That, I don't know.
I understand. All right, so we would like to know, what is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Virgo. I was born August 31st, 1989.
Yo, shout out to all the Virgos. Say what's up to your girl. She out here showing some love. That's what's up. If you could travel to any place or country in the world, where would you go?
I would go to Hawaii.
Why?
Because it's just so beautiful. It's a lot of nature down there. I love nature.
Yes. Yeah, nature is awesome. Me too. Do you have a favorite clothing store?
No, I don't. Even though I love clothes, I love fashion, but as a female, I think we could wear anything and make it look good, so I don't really have a
When was the last time you said to yourself, I love myself?
It's been a while. And I do. I love myself, but not as much as I should.
Okay. What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you?
Honestly, I don't know, because I feel like right now I live my life as I would want to live it. Because you only get one.
Right.
So anything I do it with no regrets, because it's what I choose to do.
So when was the last time you did something nice for yourself?
I don't know, it's been a while. If I could do something that I wanted to do, what would be travel? I like traveling. I used to take my girlfriends and just like leave the city, leave the state, and just go on road trips.
Gotcha. When was the last time you heard the word I love you?
Probably last time I've been around my parents and my daughter. Probably like a month ago.
Gotcha. Who inspired you the most in this world?
My daughter. Yeah, my daughter.
Okay.
And my grandma, my nana.
What makes you happy?
Being around my family.
What are you most passionate about?
I'm most passionate about being a mother, and I don't know, anything I put my mind to, really. Because I know I'm good at anything I choose to do.
Got you. What do you want to be remembered for?
I just want to be remembered for my personality and the love that I put out into the world. I'm most thankful for my mother and for her not giving up on me.
If you had to send a message to the world, what would your message be?
Do not do drugs.
How is the community attitude towards drug abuse or towards the addicts? How do the community
It's not
treat
a
you?
good one. I feel like there needs to be more knowledge put out for us and towards us, because we are human beings, and just because we do drugs doesn't make us bad people.
Absolutely not. What does happiness mean to you?
Happiness. What is happiness? Happiness is just not having to worry, just being able to be without any guilt. That's what it means to me.
It's time to wrap up the interview with the lovely Imani. I will, continue to do updates if I run into her again. But I want to tell her thank you so much for, opening up and sharing her story with the world. I'm always out here, Imani. I also got connections to rehabs and other places. The day you want help, you're not alone. Just remember that. And thank God for your mom, who's, by your side. And we wish you all the best, okay?
Thank you.
Is there anything that you're in need of that me and the audience can help you with?
I mean, anything helps.
All right, so guys, thank you so much for tuning in. AML Films. Imani, you have any last words you want to say to the audience?
Just want to say, live your life to the fullest. Just be great. That's all.
Awesome, you heard that, guys. AML Films, and we out there. Remember, guys, don't be bitter, be better. AML Films, and we out there. Peace.
Quiet is driving me insane. Silence rattles in my brain. Yeah, I gotta